Fuck it. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Shamarnian here today again. I just want to go into a lesson about Revelation, give a breakdown about Revelation, the 13th chapter, because as we see in today's world with all this technology that Esau Edom is pushing out, you know, via Elon Musk or other various sources, that what's described in Revelation 13 it's soon to come to pass. So without further ado, I just want to get into it. So, starting at Revelation 13 and 1, and it reads, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." So breaking this down, when it's talking about the sand of the sea, meaning that goes into peoples, nations, and tongues, which you can get that in Revelation 17, just to back up the point. And then the beast is likened unto a man, which we know is Esau Edom, because the other heathen nations are likened unto beasts, which you can also get that in Ecclesiastes 3 and 18, which breaks that down. The 7 heads is talking about the 7 power structures of the government that Esau Edom ruled out of. And I just want might want to just get that, just to bring that out. Revelation 17. Okay, Revelation 17, start at 9 and 10. Start at 9 to 10. And it reads, "And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space." So breaking this down, the 7 mountains means 7 government, and the woman is America, as we know. And going into verse 10, breaking this down, the 7 kings, which goes into the 7 mountains and the 7 government. 5 that fell are, as we know, Greece, France, Spain, Germania Major, and Germania Minor. And when it's talking about the one is, that's talking about ancient Rome, because Rome was a part of the 7. And the other is not yet come, that's talking about Great Britain. And continuing on, when it's giving a description of the going back to Revelation, Revelation 13 and 1. When it's talking about the 10 crowns today, that's talking about NATO and EU, because as we know that the Treaty of Rome is what founded the EU. You see, Revelation 13 and 2, and it reads, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority." And breaking this down, this is going into how the Edomites first came into power, which we know when it's describing as a leopard is Alexander the Great. And you can get that in we'll just bring that out. Daniel 7. Daniel 7:6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl, and the beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given unto it. And this is going into again how the Greek Empire, because Alexander represented that third beast, and he was known to also wear leopard's print. And when getting into Daniel 7:6, when it's talking about the 4 wings, those are known as Alexander's 4 generals, which we know is Ptolemy, Seleucus, Lacenaeus, and Cassandra. You see? And also, to furthermore prove that, if we go to First Maccabees, we can also prove this. Chapter 1. We can just start at 1. And it reads, and it happened after the Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius the king of the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up, and he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died, and his servants bare ruled every one his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And this is talking about how Alexander the Great was ruling for 12 years, and then after, as he was getting ready to die, his 4 generals broke his stead and ruled in his place. You see? So going back to Revelation 2, and starting right here, and the feet were as the feet of a bear. And this is when it's talking about the feet of the bear, it's talking about the Russians. Why? Because the feet of the bear was because his feet was likened unto the bear, because Russia is going to take down this system. You see? And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and that lion that represents Great Britain, because one, they have the symbol of the lion, and they have the symbol of the lion. And then also that we know, 1 second. Okay, cool. And so I just want to bring this part. It says, when it says mouth of the lion, this is going to break Britain, which represents the banks, because we know that the banks are the mouthpiece of Esau Edom's power structure. See, you see. So, and then when it's talking about continuing on, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And this is talking about the dragon had represent ancient Rome. And when it's talking about gave him his power and his seat and great authority, meaning even though Esau came into power under the Greeks, but when Rome came into power, that's when Esau Edom really excelled with his rulership. You see? So I'm going on to read Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Talking about one of his heads were wounded, meaning that the fall of the ancient Roman Empire, because as we know, Septimius Severus, he's the one that brought the Roman Empire down, and we can get that in the scriptures as well because it explains that. Revelation 20. So reading this, you gotta jump back because when reading Revelation 20, it jumps in and out of history. So I'm gonna start at Revelation 20:1 and go to verse 3 and then jump to verse 7. Salakia, 1 second as well. Okay. Alright. Revelation 20:1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the keys of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. So this scripture right here is twofold, because the angel is Yahweh Shai, and when it says he has the key, that means it goes into the power and authority, which you can get that also in Revelation 1:18. But in this case of what we're talking about, this scripture is talking about Septimius Severus, because as we know, he was the cutter of the heads of the 7 heads, and the bottomless pit is Europe, because Europe had a lack of resources, and that great chain is slavery, and you can get that in. To prove that great chain is slavery, you can get that in Psalms 2:8 or Psalms 149 verses 6-9, and it explains that. Going on, verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him up, and bound him 1,000 years. And that dragon, as we know, is the Edomites, being with the ancient Roman Empire. And that old serpent, which is described in the verse 2, that's is the same that was in Genesis 3. And that 1,000 years is talking about the Byzantine Empire, which is the Dark Ages. You see. So going on to verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosened a little season. So Esau Edom's power was to be taken away for until 1,000 years was up, from the time from the Renaissance era, which was the mid 1300s to the early 1400s. Losing a little season is talking about now. So now, when you read it, it jumps into the future time period. So you go to verse 7, and it reads, "And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison." So this is talking about the Israelites coming out of power during the Dark Ages, because Esau Edom would be coming back into power. And it's a tapestry, if I can find it here. The wild man versus the Moors, if I can find it. I believe it. This right here, if I can enlarge it. Slovakia. But yeah, if you see, like right here, you can see Esau Edom with their spears, or I mean, with they're coming out of the mountains right here, and you can see the Moors. You see, and this was when the time that the Edomites was coming back into power after that 1,000 years. So, yeah, and then also you can also get Malachi 1 and 4, or 2 Thessalonians 2. Matter of fact, I just want to get Malachi 1 and 4. And it reads, "Whereas Edom saith, We are in progress, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever." So, and this is going to have Esau Edom, they were going to rebuild through the Renaissance era, and we know that Renaissance, that's basically meaning the rebirth into power. You see, so going back to Revelation. Well, I mean, we can get the 2 Thessalonians as well, because that brings out a good point. Just like I spelled that wrong. Second Thessalonians 2, and we're gonna go to read 3 and 4, and it reads, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for the day shall not come, except come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High." And this is basically going and talking about how Esau Edom, they want to change the images of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the angels, the biblical people in the book, which you can get that also in First Maccabees 3, chapter 3 and 48, or Job 9 and 24. They want to be as Yahweh by the means of their technology. You see. And then like I brought out in Malachi 1 and 4, the wicked are Esau Edom, which was just the so-called white man. We see through years of how they operate, who the devil is, and the Bible, the scriptures, they perfectly tell you that it's Esau Edom. So again, going to Esau Edom came down from the Caucasus Mountains after the 1,000 years, and they overthrew the Israelites, which were the Moors, because it was our time to fall due to prophecy. And again, let's go back to Revelation. Let me just type it in. So again, '23. So going back in Revelation 20:3, that was going into how it was our time to come to an end. So and there was a time for Esau Edom to rule. Let me just open up another tab. And to also further prove that, we're going to get Daniel 4. I'm going to jump down all the way to 17. And it reads, "This is the matter by the decree of the watchers and the demand of the world of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdoms of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over the basis of men." And this is going into how Yahweh set up the basis, set it up for the basis of man to rule. Who, and as we know, who are the basis of man, and we can prove that in Job. Job 30, to prove this, who's that basis of man is being talked about. And it reads, Job 30:1, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men, they cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys." I want to read that over. "To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they bray, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were the children of fools, yea, children of base men, they were viler than the earth." And this is going into how basically Esau Edom, they're just dirty. And this is backed up in Revelation 20, because when you go to Revelation 20, because Esau Edom, they dwelled in the mountains, as we've seen being described in verse 6. You see? In verse 8, Esau Edom is the base man that's being talked about. So going back to Revelation 20, starting at 7. again, reading this, and when they, it's like, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out and deceive the nations which are in the fourth quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And this is going into how, again, Esau Edom would be released for a little while and deceive the whole world through their pseudoscience, etc. And this is the time that we are in right now. So going back to Revelation 13, Revelation 13 and 4, and it reads, and they worship the dragon which gave the power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. And this is again talking about the might of the ancient Roman Empire, because when we go into Daniel 7 and 7, so Daniel 7, and it reads, and after this I saw the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. And basically this is going to when it's talking about the great iron teeth, it's talking about the ancient Romans military might. And when it's going into the residue, it's like the residue with the feet of it, meaning that the vassal states were under Rome. And what made it diverse from all the other beasts that was before it, because if I'm not mistaken, they had one king, but when Roman came into power, they had like the senates, or how we have today with the Republicans and the Democrat. Back then they had a thing called the plebeians and the patricians, so that they had a senate, and that's what made them diverse from all the other beasts that were before it. You see? So going back to Revelation 13, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and the powers were given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. And that 40 and 2 months, that goes into the time Israel was in slavery under Esau Edom, which goes into 1620 to the 1970s, and that goes into also the 350 years. And we can also just get that to bring that out. Revelation 11. And I'm gonna start at verse 1. And there was given, and there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out. I just want to read that over again. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread under foot 40 and 2 months. Going again at the 350 years. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,203 days, clothed in sackcloth. And again, this is talking about the time that the time of us being in captivity under Esau Edom's rulership, and that's what that going to. So going back to Revelation 13 and 6, and he opened his mouth, and blasphemies against the Most High, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And how Esau Edom had blasphemed by changing the name of the Heavenly Father, Salakia, the tabernacle, by calling themselves the true people of the land, and the angels by calling the angels the aliens, and creating false depictions of the heavenly host. You see, we're moving on to verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And the power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And this is going into Yahweh Shem Yahushai set it up like this, so the prophecy could be fulfilled with this being said. Verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundations of the world. And this is only the elect's names is going to be written in that book of life. The elect of it are only Israel too. To prove that, I'll just read it out. I don't want to get too deep into it, but Isaiah, just like Isaiah 45. Verse 4, and it reads, For Jacob my servant spake, in Israel mine elect, and I have I have even called thee by thy name, I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. So again, as the various teachers and apostles have said, yes, Israel is the elect nation of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but there's also an elect inside the elect. You see? So going back to verse 8, because when I just wanted to bring that out. So when I said again, only the elect name will be written in the book of life, and that Israel, that the elect are only Israelites, but not all of Israel will be saved, because again, like I just said, there is an elect people inside the elect nation of Israel, and you can also get that in Romans 11:7, and that brings it out as well. So moving on to Revelation 13 and 9, and it reads, If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. And everyone that has done wrong doings to the Israelites, that they will be repaid with such and slavery. And again, scriptures goes into that. I just want to keep bringing out the point. Second Thessalonians 1:6, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. See, again, it's showing you Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will repay these other nations with righteous judgment. And again, if you don't, another scriptures to back you up that you other heathen nations, you're going into captivity. 149, my favorite scripture, one of my favorite scriptures. It's telling you that you're not going to get away with the shit that y'all done to the Israelites. And it reads, Psalms 149, starting at verse 6, and it reads, "Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword, and the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord." And again, this is what's coming to pass. You other heathen nations, starting with Esau, Edom, y'all going into slavery, and there's no way to get out of it. Again, you will be repaid for all the atrocities that y'all have done to the children of Israel. So moving on to verse Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And again, this two horns represents the power structures. Because again, as I stated earlier before in the lesson, you have the plebeians and the patricians. Now it's the Democrats and the Republicans. You see, and I just want to bring this out as well to further the point. Go to Revelation 8. First Maccabees in 8, and I'm gonna start at verse 14. And it reads, one second. "For all that is none of them wore a crown, or was clothed in purple, to be magnified thereby." Verse 15. "Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to end they might be well ordered." Verse 16. "And that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there were neither envy or emulation among them." And again, so going back to verse 14, before the Roman Empire, they would have kings that wore crowns, and when the king had passed away, he would have to have an heir to a throne, like the son. And breaking down verse 15 and 16, when the Romans, they would have one man to rule, much like as we do today, as we know the presidency. You see, so this was their senate, and this is another sign to show you that America is the ancient Roman Empire revived. You see. So going back to Revelation 13, 12, and it reads, "And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the beast, to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." And again, the ancient Roman Empire came back into power by America, because America is the ancient Roman Empire revived. Verse 13, "And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from the heaven on the earth in sight of men." And this is going into Esau having the power through Yahweh Shem Yahushua to have the technology for weapons like ICBM missiles and things of that nature. Precept I want to bring out for this is Isaiah Isaiah 2:54. 54 and verse 16, and it reads, "Behold, I have created the smith, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." And again, this is going into how Yahweh gave these Edomites the knowledge to create such weapons. You see, that's why back a few decades that they were proud, because when America had came out with this technology, you know, when they went over to Japan and did what they did, they were greatly feared. Didn't nobody want to fuck with America because of what the technology that they had. But little did Esau Edom know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua had gave them that knowledge, because ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to use that to destroy Esau Edom. You see? So going back to Revelation, verse 14. "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do, and the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live." And that image of the beast is everything that goes back to the ancient Roman Empire, such as laws, philosophies, their ways of life. Verse 15. "And he had the power to give life unto the beast, and give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." And this is speaking in today's terms, that, you know, if you speak out against the elites today, that they'll try to unalive you, or other ways, you know, that goes on. Verse 16. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." And again, this is going into what the elders and apostles of Great Millstone have been preaching for decades. They're going into the RFID micro C-hip, you see, and they like the brothers that they've been warning for decades to not take it. So no matter what, going into verse 16, no matter what your status is on this earth, they will try to present this MOTB to you. So going to verse 17, "That no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." And again, this is going into dealing with buying and selling. That if you don't have that MOTB, you are not going to be a part of this society. You're not going to be a civilian in this society if you don't have that. You're going to be an outcast. You see. So in verse 18. One second. Okay, last precept. "Here is a wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666." And this is basically going into the number. That number is the mark to be shown, to show who is the master. So, again, hope this lesson was edifying. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakodash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who were well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.